It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite, Dan. How about that?
A sponsor.
Yes.
A sponsor 2022, baby.
Yep. Great taste. 96 calories available for delivery. A little beer delivery. How about that? Huh?
Also, they haven't agreed to this, but we got to get Miller Lite presented by. We got to get Greg Cody presented by Miller Lite. I mean, he is a walking testimonial.
Like his every thought, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every thought that goes through that brain and out his mouth has been processed by triple hops brewed Miller Lite.
We are going to totally sell out the Codys that aggressively, where we've got Chris Cody brought to you by Sheets and Giggles, Independent Thoughts, and Greg Cody brought to you by Miller Lite.
Holy shit, did I get some good sleep over the weekend? Over this break? Oh, my God.
You've been working on that one, huh?
Practicing it for 10 days.
Nailed it.
Company spokesman.
Chris, I got some copy for you to read after the show.
Dan, he hit one of the biggest shots in college basketball history. Had a solid NBA career, although if you ask him, and sometimes, even if you don't, he'll gladly tell you he was the best player on every team he ever played on. And that includes teams that had LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh in their primes. He retired, but never retired the thought that he's the best basketball player in the world. And thanks to a worldwide pandemic, that just won't leave us the fuck alone. He has another chance to prove us wrong and prove to us what he's known all along. Dan, I cannot believe I'm saying this.
It's crazy.
But make no mistake about it.
Make no mistake.
Mario Chalmers is back. Rio. Speaking of back, Bob Stoops and Andy Dalton.
That was funny.
The Red Rifle.
I mean,
how about that?
Bob Stoops running in there for Oklahoma.
What do you mean?
Well, it's just funny.
Hey, did a good job.
Funny.
Finally won a bowl game.
Did you guys see that this year? I don't know if you saw some of these stats, but like 27% of the underdogs won, and 50 unranked teams beat ranked teams.
What?
Yeah, this is just crazy distortion of a stupid season. Like, Clemson was ranked 19th in their bowl game. Clemson stunk this year.
It's a big cover for me. Cincinnati Bearcats. Blah, blah, blah. Luke Fickell. Blah, blah, blah. Georgia, do it against Alabama. Dan, stop trying to bait me and Mike into a double or nothing bet. It's not happening. I want Mike's hair.
I thought we made it.
No, we did not.
Dan shaves his head too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what happened? I thought.
Well, wait. If there's a double or nothing, no, you said no. Mike just tricked you.
You just said stop baiting me, and then all of a sudden you want to start negotiating immediately.
Listen, we said I'd be willing to go double or nothing, although I think I like Georgia this time around. So I win and we're even, right?
What happened? Read that
You don't
line
shave
again.
your head anymore.
If Mike loses, you shave your head. Mike Ryan does, and Dan, you shave your
What
head.
happened?
You sure you want a piece of that action?
What happened to stop baiting me into double or nothing, and now you start negotiating
Mike
double
got
or
me
nothing?
fired up.
Do you want to enter negotiations into double or nothing or not? Yes or no?
Are you going to be involved?
Yes or no?
We'll see. Kirby Smart, terrible hair. Dan Reeves, great coach, sneaky good looking, and one tough son of a bitch. You punch Dan Reeves in the face, expect two things: a smile and a punch 10 times harder in return.
What are you laughing about there, Chris?
This is a random thing on
Hey, he's a tough guy, man.
How do you know him so well?
I do. I know him. Rest in peace.
Why do you know that? Why do you?
Dan Reeves is one of the, I think he's got a military background. He's got a chin. He is a tough guy, Dan. You punch him in the face.
You know
expect
what?
two things: a smile and a punch back. That's it.
Put it on the poll, please, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. If you have a military background and a chin, can we assume that you're a tough guy who can be punched in the face and you will smile and punch us back 10 times?
Top 5 toughest coaches in sports history. Number 5, Forrest Gregg. I have no idea if he was tough, but he looked tough. I mean, Forrest.
Stugotz is just descending into Bump Wills and Forrest, Greg.
Bump Phillips is number 3, right ahead of Dan Reeves. How about that? Now, again, I have no idea if Bum Phillips was a tough guy or not, but his name is Bum and he wore a gallon hat. I mean,
I didn't say Bum Phillips. I'm still marveling at your baseball card Bump Wills reference earlier.
A mistake card. Number 2, Mike Ditka. And number 1, Dan, this goes without saying. Everyone knows it. Mick Cronin.
No Mike Tomlin on your list.
No. Oh, wow. Probably should be in there. I love when an older man calls me kid. Do you? It's so great. Like an old guy, hey, kid. Don't you love it?
Put it on the poll, please, Guillermo. Do you love when an older man calls you kid? It sounds like it's delightful. Yeah, it sounds great for everybody involved.
Yep. You know what the K in Cooper Cup stands for, Dan?
I do not.
Canton. Josh Johnson is a Raven. If you thought flying on or around Christmas Eve was a good idea, guess what? It wasn't, and you're a moron. Too harsh? Jake Fromm.
Did you fly? Is that what happened?
I did not fly, but I mean, the number of people complaining about their flights being delayed or canceled, what did you expect? I mean, seriously, there's a worldwide pandemic going on. I mean, what did people expect? And it's Christmas.
Trying to see their family for the holidays. Where are you having to go?
Okay, like I'm all for you trying to see your family. But if you're going to book a flight around that time, there's a good chance it's going to be canceled. Pandemic or no pandemic, to be honest.
It's good that that's the time you chose to be on it.
It's odd.
What branch of the military did Dan Reeves serve at?
I was hoping no one was going to fact check me on that one. Did anyone do it? No military background, but he has a chin. We agree.
Well, he has a chin, but I mean, that could be said for almost anyone, and some of us have too.
Death, taxes, and Cameron Brate wide open in the end zone.
Always. I don't understand it. Is it because you have to cover everyone else? Is it because the secondary's yelling, Gronk, Gronk, and 10 guys are hanging from his earlobes?
I don't think he's got in a military burial.
What?
Do you think Dan Reeves is Roger Staubach?
Staubach was in the Navy. I thought Reeves had some sort of Marines background, like something. His dad, maybe.
You thought Dan Reeves was a Marine.
Yeah.
His dad, maybe, has now made an appearance as Stugotz tries to
military background.
Slither
People
away.
Dan Reeves' age typically had a father that served in the military. It wasn't always their choice.
That would make it a military background, though, right?
No.
I don't know if you
He
wrote.
comes from a military family.
Put it on the.
I don't know, Mike. I'm not certain you're right there. Like, I think if one of your parents served in the military, you have a military background.
I lived with my grandfather for several years. He was a Navy man. Do I
Again-
have a military background,
Yes.
Stugotz? I do not.
Again,
Midshipman.
Thank you for your service, Mike.
what you're not noticing here, Mike, is that simply Stugotz, now that you're looking up whether Dan Reeves is in the military now he's sending you on a wild goose chase to see if Dan Reeves' dad was in the military so he could be less wrong than he just was.
Just buying time.
Just grandfather, anybody. Did Dan Reeves ever know anyone? Did he ever visit anyone at an academy of any sort that had a military undertow?
Stugotz, this is an easy one. Did he have USAA insurance?
Right. I'm not certain. But it's a good point. Like, my father was in the military, Mike, and I can get USAA if I want. Now, I wasn't in the military, but I have a military background.
You do not have a military background. No one,
I think that's insulting.
there is nothing. It isn't. It is not. It is insulting to the military that you think you have a military background. It is.
I thought I did.
He was born to Irish immigrants.
Right.
Which can also be tough, but again, not a military background.
You'll get to it, Mike. Keep digging. Cole
Wait, no,
Beasley.
that's a different Dan Reeves. I'm sorry.
Unfortunate.
Also, not a military background for this one.
So perhaps you were looking up the wrong one the entire time?
No. Dan Reeves with the big grandpa glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't see him being a Marine.
Okay. Cole Beasley.
You realize that all you've done with your tough guy coaches is when you were a kid, an old white guy who was in charge. So
I mean, come on.
that's all you did. Like you were just a kid, and all you did was go through. You just went through
Forrest
coaches
Gregg.
that represented football to you back when you were a kid. That's all you did. And there were no black head coaches back then, so they all had to be white guys you were afraid of.
Because Mike Singletary is tougher than any of these guys, right?
Yeah, it's a great deal. Yes, Dan Reeves would not smile and punch him many times in the face.
Oh, no, yes, he would, Dan. Yeah, he would.
Because he's got a military background.
Exactly right. And it should. Yeah.
Because his dad was in the military.
USAA.
Dan Reeves once spoke to a military academy.
Boom. 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 There it is in your face,
Thank you.
Whittingham. Boom. Dan Reeves once walked past the military academy.
Cole Beasley complaining about the NFL's COVID policy while not being vaccinated. Cole, the Stugotz is strong in you. Hey, Cole, here's an idea. Instead of complaining, stick a needle in your arm. Dan, you know what the C in Cole Beasley stands for?
I do not.
Complainer. How'd you not know that one?
I'm sorry. How much has he been
I thought it was
fined?
going to be COVID.
Is it 100? That would have been funnier. $100,000? Is that how much he's been fined in just a variety of things because he doesn't want to be vaccinated?
Yep. The Vikings are a quarterback away. Sometimes. David Culley, coach of the year. Brandon Staley, blah, blah, blah. We were off for so long, Dan. Some of these are from last weekend.
What do you mean, blah, 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 and
That-
Staley?
it was 2 weekends ago, two games
Why would
ago.
you cross that out? Now he's playing for a game to make the playoffs.
Oh, but Staley yesterday kicked on 4th and goal from the 1. I was furious with Brandon Staley. Live this life or don't, man. Go for it.
He is so right. You know what the B in Brandon Staley stands for, Dan?
I do not.
Blah.
But he won yesterday.
And he's
they're-
back.
And okay, he's back. Any reason you didn't update those notes?
Oh, no.
You're Stugotz.
Yeah. 7-6 at half, otherwise known as heaven for Vic Fangio. Bangs.
What was the score?
That was last weekend.
Okay, because this weekend it was 17-3.
Close to heaven.
He kicked a 61-yard field goal. Fangs did, and was like so happy. I thought he was going to retire on the spot.
There was nothing more helpless, and I know I speak for the Dolphin fans that were watching this, than having your playoff hopes and dreams tied to Drew Lock. You had just no shot.
What were they doing running a 4th and goal Philly special when the play ends and throwing to Drew Lock?
They should have fired
Dang,
Fangio on the spot
What
there.
play is that?
That's a play that needs to be eliminated from the playbook.
Set fire to that play and never run it on 4th
not
down.
set fire to it. Wipe your ass with that play from the playbook, Fangio, and then set fire to it.
Fang said he deserves another year. I mean,
Whittingham is so right. You cannot have a play in your playbook at the goal line. Let me throw it back to Drew Lock on 4th down from across the field to see if I can get a yard on a double reverse. That's when Fangs decides to be crazy. He's been married to
Wacky.
Bridgewater for so long, 18 plays, 60 yards, kick a field goal, that's when he sides with Wacky.
deserves another year. He kind of does. I mean, they've been competitive, in just about every game. Jimmy Garoppolo has a UCL thumb tear and fracture. Thank God his face is okay. By the way, Dan, did you know thumbs had ligaments? I didn't.
Why? What did you think? They were just blobs of
Yeah, just whatever.
skin and bone?
Yep. No idea there were ligaments in there.
Okay.
A UCL.
I did not know that was the name of a ligament. I would have assumed that a thumb had ligaments, though.
Oh, all right. Smarter than I am. Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and just like that, the Bengals are fixed. When they announced hockey was starting again, it's the first time I realized hockey had stopped. Dan, you know what the M in John Madden stands for?
I do not.
It stands for football, Dan, which leads me to my all-time All-Madden team. You ready?
You've got an all-time All-Madden team right now.
Yep. Some of his favorites. Okay. It's my all-time All-Madden team that I made, but I did it as John Madden. Okay. Like I was thinking this is who Madden would want. Okay, ready?
Does he have his own on this front? Does he have?
Well,
or
he has
did-
one every year. I'm not certain he has an all-time team. This is
Okay.
his all-time team.
According to you. Okay.
Yes. Quarterback, Brett Favre. Backup quarterback, Brett Favre. Running backs,
Yeah.
Walter Payton, Sweetness, Barry Sanders, and John Riggins. Riggo.
John Riggins.
He loved Riggins. You know, I think Riggins made 5 All-Madden teams. How about that? Look it up. Wide receivers, Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and his favorite, Phil McConkey. Military background, Phil. Check it out. O-line, Joe Jacoby, Russ Grimm, Nate Newton, Jimbo Covert, Jumbo Elliott, Bruce Matthews, and anyone with the last name Matthews.
All the Matthews family, the entire Matthews family.
Almost done. D-line, Richard Dent, Jack Youngblood, Howie Long, Jim Burt, Steve McMichael, Reggie White, and Bruce Smith.
Did you throw a linebacker in there? Was there? Did you just?
No, I have linebackers next.
Okay.
Lawrence Taylor, Jim Hacksaw Reynolds.
Youngblood was a defensive lineman. No?
Yeah, play with a broken arm, I believe.
I thought he was a linebacker.
Wilbur Marshall, Pepper Johnson. He loved those giant teams.
Yeah,
I
man, yeah,
mean,
they
he
won a
really-
championship. Sure.
running the ball.
Yes. Yeah, of course. Winning 20-17.
DBs, Mike Haynes, Lester Hayes, Ronnie Lotz, Gary Fensick, Deion Sanders.
No, Daryl Green.
No. Kicker, Kevin Butler, and Mark Mosley.
What?
Punter, Sean Landetta.
His roster's carrying 2 kickers.
Yeah, you need 2 kickers.
You do?
I mean, Mosley won an MVP, but he really liked Kevin Butler because Butler kicked in the wind.
I love that you took that seriously.
Really did.
He really loved Butler
I remember him saying
Butler
that.
kicked in the wind,
Yeah.
which is everybody. Everybody has to
Yeah,
kick in
but the
wind.
Windy City, he was the Bears kicker, Soldier Field by the lake. You know what I'm saying? Part of there, yeah. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you, Billy, for your first contribution in 74 minutes.
If the 3-point line didn't exist, DeMar DeRozan would be the best basketball player in the world.
How about him? How about him this weekend? too?
Amazing.
What a great feeling for 24 hours to put the Bulls as the 1 seed in the East because you keep hitting down, not tied, down. You keep hitting game winners, 2 of them in 24 hours. As Joel Embiid is 1 for 18 in game tying situations, last 5 seconds in overtime, and the only one who's worse is Kemba Walker, 0 for 25.
Rudy Gay plays for the Jazz. Greg Monroe is a T-Wolf. Incredible. The Titans have the closest thing in the NFL to Derrick Henry, backing up Derrick Henry. Chiefs, Bengals, literal track meet. Bengals, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it was 14-0. I regret that one. I do.
Why didn't you update it?
I don't know. Somehow, some way, Braxton Berrios will wind up in New England and eventually in Canton. Dan, maybe Urban Meyer was right when he said everyone on his coaching staff was a loser. Holy crap, it happened again this weekend. Death, taxes, and Cameron Brate wide open in the end zone.
So that was
2 weekends in a row.
That was an old Cameron Brate.
Yeah.
Stugotz, is there any reason you didn't tell the people
was a
that this
long
was
one.
going to include 2 weekends of material?
I
Like
wish I
that would
told
have
myself.
been
Yeah.
helpful.
Mm-hmm. Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson played together in college. You know what the J in Jamar, Justin, and Jefferson stands for, Dan?
I do not.
It stands for Jesus. Holding the Chiefs or Bengals to a field goal feels like a win for the other team. Jimmy Garoppolo, clipboard, collision course. It was nice for a change that the most embarrassing thing going on in Verizon Stadium on Sunday wasn't the Jets playing football. Philadelphia Eagles, sneaky good. Jalen Hurts, winner. FedEx Field, dump. Meanwhile, speaking of winners, Tom Brady, 34-50, 410 yards, 3 touchdowns. He has 4,990 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions on the season, and his team is 12-4. He also let Antonio Brown live in his house. What the hell? Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.